Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. We're diving into the high-octane world of Formula One, where one man continues to dominate the track. I'm talking about the indomitable Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton's latest race results are more thrilling than a Reliant Robin on a wet roundabout. In the past few weeks, Hamilton has been tearing up the tarmac like a man possessed. He's not just driving, he's rewriting the rule book of what's possible in a Formula One car. The way he navigates corners, you'd think he had a sat-nav plugged directly into his brain. Hamilton isn't just winning, he's making the rest of the field look like they're stuck in treacle. This is a 7-time world champion, a man who's been at the top of his game for over a decade, still finding ways to improve. It's like watching a fine wine get better with age, if that wine could do 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. So, strap yourselves in, folks. We're about to take a deep dive into the world of Lewis Hamilton's latest triumphs. Let's start with the Monaco Grand Prix, where the streets are narrower than a supermodel's waistline and the corners tighter than my wallet at a Ferrari dealership. Hamilton treated the qualifying session like a casual Sunday drive, snatching pole position with a lap time that had his rivals checking their watches. Come race day, Hamilton shot off the line like a champagne cork at a millionaire's birthday party. For 78 laps, he danced through the streets of Monte Carlo with the grace of a ballet dancer and the speed of a cheetah on Red Bull. The result? A win so dominant it made the rest of the field look like they were competing in a different race altogether. But Hamilton wasn't content with just conquering Monaco. He did it all over again at the Spanish Grand Prix. Barcelona's Circuit de Catalunya is known for its challenging mix of high speed and technical sections. But Hamilton made it look easier than assembling flat-pack furniture with all the right pieces. He led from start to finish, crossing the line with a lead so large you could have fit a double-decker bus in the gap. And just when his rivals thought they might have a chance, Hamilton turned the Canadian Grand Prix into his personal playground. In a race with more twists and turns than a soap opera marathon, Hamilton kept his cool and crossed the finish line with a margin that makes you wonder if everyone else was driving in reverse. Now let's zoom out and look at Hamilton's 2024 season as a whole. If this season were a ride at Alton Towers, it would be the kind that has you screaming with a mix of terror and delight from start to finish. Hamilton kicked off the year like a man with something to prove, which is ridiculous because he's already proved everything there is to prove in this sport. The season opener in Australia saw Hamilton pull off a win so smooth it could have been sponsored by Lurpak. He followed that up with a string of podium finishes that had his competitors wondering if they should just hand him the championship trophy. But then, Hamilton hit a bump in the road, literally. A nasty bit of curb in Baku sent Hamilton's car flying through the air like a very expensive, very fast frisbee. He managed to wrestle the car back under control and finish the race, but it was a rare off day that saw him finish in 4th place. Since that minor blip, Hamilton has been on a tear, racking up wins with the regularity of a Swiss watch and podium finishes that are more consistent than my ex-wife's complaints. Now you might be thinking, Clarkson, surely someone's giving Hamilton a run for his money. And you'd be right. While Hamilton might be making it look easy, he's got a pack of hungry wolves nipping at his heels. First up, Max Verstappen, the Dutch wunderkind who drives like he's got a rocket up his backside. Verstappen's been pushing Hamilton harder than a personal trainer on a power trip. The lad's got talent oozing out of his ears and a determination that would make a bulldog look indecisive. Then there's Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. The Monegasque driver's been like a pesky mosquito at a summer barbecue, always there, always annoying and occasionally drawing blood. Leclerc's got the kind of raw speed that makes you wonder if he's secretly part cheater. But let's not forget Hamilton's own teammate, George Russell. The young Brit's been showing the kind of form that suggests he's not content with playing second fiddle. He's been pushing Hamilton in qualifying, challenging him in races, and generally being a right pain in the backside for the 7-time world champion. All in all, Hamilton's facing challenges from all sides, but like a seasoned poker player, he's playing his cards close to his chest and coming out on top more often than not. Section 5, by the numbers, Hamilton's impressive statistics. Right. Time to put on your anorak and polish your calculator because we're about to dive into the world of statistics. Hamilton's numbers are more impressive than the queue at a free bar. Let's start with the big one wins. As of today, Hamilton has racked up a whopping 103 Grand Prix victories. To put that into perspective, that's more wins than some entire teams have managed in their entire history. Hamilton's pole position count is equally mind-boggling. He started from the front of the grid 103 times. That's more poles than you'd find at a convention of Eastern European gymnasts. Hamilton has stood on the podium a staggering 182 times. That's more champagne spraying than a billionaire's yacht party. Over his career, he's amassed more points than a hedgehog at a balloon factory. In the 2024 season alone, he's already scored more points than some midfield teams will manage all year. All in all, Hamilton's statistics aren't just impressive, they're downright ridiculous. Section 6, the Silverstone Showdown, a home race to remember. Now let's talk about the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. This wasn't just a race, it was a homecoming fit for a king. Hamilton arrived at Silverstone like a conquering hero returning from battle. Except his chariot was a Mercedes F1 car. The atmosphere was electric, with more British flags than you'd see at a royal wedding. Qualifying was tighter than a miser's wallet. Hamilton was up against it, with Verstappen pushing him harder than a personal trainer on commission. But when the chips were down, Hamilton pulled out a lap that was so fast it probably broke a few laws of physics. He snatched pole position by a margin so small you'd need an electron microscope to measure it. Come race day, the weather decided to throw a spanner in the works. It started raining because of course it did. But Hamilton, being Hamilton, treated the wet track like it was a sunny day in the park. For 52 laps, he danced around Silverstone like Gene Kelly in Singin' in the Rain. The final laps were more tense than a high-wire act. Verstappen was closing in, but Hamilton held firm. He crossed the line first, with Verstappen close enough behind to read the sponsor logos on Hamilton's rear wing. Section 7. Technological triumphs, Mercedes' latest innovations. Now, let's talk about the beast Hamilton's been taming all season, the Mercedes W15. This isn't just a car, it's a technological tour de force, a symphony of engineering brilliance. The boffins at Mercedes have been burning the midnight oil, and the result is a car that's about as close to a ground-based fighter jet as you can get without strapping wings to it. First up, there's the power unit. This thing produces more horses than a Kentucky stud farm. It's a hybrid masterpiece that combines a V6 turbo engine with an energy recovery system so efficient it could probably power a small town with the leftover juice from a single lap. But power is nothing without control, and this is where the W15 really shines. The aerodynamics on this thing are so advanced, I'm half convinced it could drive upside down if you stuck it to the ceiling. The front wing looks like it was designed by a mad scientist with an obsession for origami. Mercedes has developed a suspension system that's smarter than most university graduates. All in all, the W15 is a masterpiece of engineering, a perfect blend of power, precision, and pizzazz. Section 8, the mental game, Hamilton's mindset and preparation. Now let's delve into the grey matter between Hamilton's ears. While the car might be a technological marvel, it's the nut behind the wheel that really makes the difference. Hamilton's approach to racing is more zen than a Buddhist monastery, more focused than a laser beam. His pre-race routine is the stuff of legend. He approaches each race weekend with meticulous preparation. Every detail is scrutinized, every possibility considered. He spends hours poring over telemetry data, analyzing every corner, every braking point, every gear change. Hamilton's mental strength is his secret weapon. He has the ability to shut out the noise, the pressure, the expectations, and focus solely on the task at hand. When he's in the zone, he's more machine than man, processing information and making split-second decisions with superhuman speed and accuracy. Hamilton has the bounce-back ability of a rubber ball dropped from the top of the Burj Khalifa. Bad qualifying? He'll fight through the field like a man possessed. Mechanical issue? He'll nurse the car home like a mother hen with her chicks. Rain, shine, or apocalyptic meteor shower, Hamilton remains unshakable. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates on Lewis Hamilton and the world of racing.